What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. I've made hundreds of videos here on YouTube all about different ways to make money online. A lot of what I talk about is drop shipping onto different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. We've talked about Amazon in the past. We've done Amazon FBA. So if you're interested in learning different ways to make money online that I've actually tested and can talk to you about the pros and cons of them and what works and what doesn't work, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. I make content every single week. And if you get any value during this live stream, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. All right, this is a live stream, which means that if you are here with me live, make sure to jump into the chat and ask any questions that you have. I'm going to do my best to answer those questions here for you. And yeah, let's get right into this. Let's not waste any more time. So we have a bunch of questions here from Haley. She's always asking some great questions, but quickly I want to give a shout out to George. Says, greetings to the eBay dropshipping guru. George, always good to see you, man. Thanks for the compliments. George says, what should our dropshipping strategy be now for Q1 and going forward? So that's a really good question, George. So looking at, how should I say this? So starting out the new year as a dropshipper, you should really be focused in on adding products into your store that are going to sell all year long. So during the Christmas season that just passed, we were putting items into our store, focusing a lot on items that were really only going to sell during the month of December. But now that a lot of those items have sold, they're not going to sell as well for the rest of the year. So now should be the time when you introduce those evergreen items into your stores. For me, that's a lot of furniture and tools, and those are going to sell all year long. A great resource for this is going on to Zeek Analytics and just seeing what types of products are selling right now, because we are kind of in this in-between time where there's not really a holiday coming up besides Valentine's Day, and there's not really a new season coming up anytime soon either. So the things that people are going to be purchasing are things that people are going to be purchasing all year long. So hop into Zeek Analytics. That will tell you which items are popular right now. And if they're popular right now, they're probably going to be popular all year long as well. So that would be my focus in terms of what items you should be looking at selling, George. All right. Haley says, hey, Paul, I just bought your course and it's fantastic. I've encountered multiple issues, but I got 2 sales and I did the hardest part, which is starting. I love to see that, Haley. And yeah, I agree. That is definitely the hardest part. I've said it like a million times. Most people just will not get started with dropshipping. And that's a shame, because we're all here. We're watching these videos. We're learning about dropshipping. We want to make money online. But you have to be the one who actually puts your foot forward and actually starts that process for yourself. Are you going to run into roadblocks? Are you going to run into hurdles you have to overcome? Absolutely. But Haley did. Haley, I think you're only like 17 or so, I think, from what I remember. And, you've run into these issues, but you started anyway. You kept going and you've already gotten 2 sales. So that is kind of the ultimate testament that this does work if you're willing to put in the work and kind of deal with those issues and go over those roadblocks. And of course, I'll be here to help as much as I can. Haley, you should be posting in the forum. Make sure you join that and ask questions in there. That's just for members of the course. That way I can get back to you much faster and you don't have to wait for the Q&As for that. Haley says, with using autofulfill, using AutoDS, Amazon, orders that are over $25 get free shipping. Yeah, you'll still get free shipping on orders that are over $25 with Amazon, but you won't get free shipping on items that are under $25. So you want to focus on orders that are over $25. So another question about the auto fulfillment. So the auto fulfillment, for those of you who aren't familiar, it's a part of the software that we use. It can actually automatically fulfill orders for you. So when an order comes in on eBay, eBay will send that information over to the software, AutoDS, And then if you have it set up, AutoDS can actually automatically fulfill that order. In other words, it will order that item from your supplier. It only works with certain suppliers like Amazon, but it can do that for you so you don't have to manually do that yourself. So that's pretty cool. It does cost extra money for that, obviously. So, and you do have to make sure it's set up as well. But another thing that it can do in the settings is you can actually have it so that it will upload the tracking numbers and will convert any Amazon tracking numbers into a tracking number that eBay will actually accept and you can actually use on eBay. As long as you set it up, Haley, that's going to work in the settings right there. All right. Urdu Playlist says, hey sir, I have a question regarding Facebook dropshipping. Can you please let me know what strategies I should follow? Please recommend me some big rules, please. I'm deadly confused in selecting products to sell. I am stuck. Okay. So when it comes to Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, your general strategy should be focusing in the beginning on selling directly on Facebook Marketplace. Don't use Facebook Shops in the beginning. When it comes to Facebook Marketplace, the products that you should be focusing on are products that you feel that people are going to impulse buy. So that can be kind of like vague. You might not know where to start with that. So some good categories to look at are home and kitchen. We like a lot of furniture. Items like that tend to do really well, decorations as well. The best thing to do to figure out which items to dropship onto Facebook Marketplace is to go onto eBay and see what items are popular on eBay. In other words, what items people are successfully dropshipping onto eBay from like Walmart. If they're selling well on eBay, there's a really good chance that you can sell them on Facebook Marketplace and sell them for more money on Facebook Marketplace. So that's kind of my number one beginner strategy. See what's selling well on eBay. You can use Zeek Analytics for that or just do it manually. And once you get that information, sell those same products on Facebook Marketplace because they'll probably do well in Facebook Marketplace as well. Yeah, round of applause for the 2 sales. I used to have like a way to make a round of applause sound. How do I do that? Here we go. All right. All right, let me go back to Haley's questions. She had a bunch of them. I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs howling back there. Let's see. Haley says, I'm having trouble finding products that are not out of stock or the right supplier. Do you have any suggestions? I use Zeek Analytics, but I had a difficult time even listing one product. So, Haley, I'm not like 100% on the same page as you with this, like understanding exactly what you mean. You're having trouble finding products that are not out of stock or the right supplier. So it sounds like you are finding items that are selling well on eBay, but when you go to find those items and to source those from a supplier, you're not either able to find the product at all, or you're not able to find the item that's in stock. Like you found it, but it's out of stock. So a few things you want to think about there is there's a good chance that you're looking at sellers that might not be drop shippers. So make sure that when you're doing this research, you are really looking at stores on eBay that people are drop shipping on those stores. And the cool thing is if you use Zeek Analytics, there's a little icon. It will tell you, hey, this is a drop shipper. But you can also do this kind of manually by kind of figuring out if they're a drop shipper. That's something, you should, it's inside the course how to do that. So that should be the first step. That's why the first step of the product research is to find other drop shippers, because you might be finding really popular items on eBay elsewhere, but those sellers, those items might not be items that people are drop shipping. So you really want to focus in on the items that are being drop shipped. And if you're able to do that, then you know that there is a supplier for all those items. It's just you have to find them. Make sure that you're searching for the description of the item on Google. There's a good chance it will come up with the supplier's website. You can also search for the photos on Google, and all those things will help you find the items on your supplier's website. Will they be out of stock sometimes? Yes, that's going to happen. But if they're in stock for the seller on eBay, there's a really good chance they're in stock somewhere, and you just have to dig around a little bit more. All right. All right, Kared says, I have your Facebook Marketplace course. I'm buying your eBay course soon. What would your suggestion be for studying and taking action on both simultaneously? I.e., Facebook Marketplace 3 days in a row, then eBay 3 days in a row, trying to figure out the best way. Yeah, so I used to kind of be of the opinion that you should only be doing one of these at a time, but that's kind of changed. It really depends on how much time you have and your kind of mental capacity, so to speak, to be able to kind of juggle a couple of different things. But if you have kind of like that drive and that capacity to open multiple stores on different platforms, I would go for it, right? You don't want to waste any more time, so to speak, when it comes to building an e-commerce store. So go for it. Start a store on eBay, start a store on Facebook Marketplace, and build up both of them at the same time. They are different, so there's different strategies you have to learn, but some of the strategies will help the other store out, so to speak. So I wouldn't split it up in the way that you described, 3 days Facebook, 3 days eBay. I would really focus it more on spending time to start up both of them. So, it takes a day or two to actually create an eBay store and get everything up and running and to add those first products and kind of like build up that base. And same thing with Facebook Marketplace. So spend the time necessary to do that. Maybe spend 1 week setting up your eBay store and kind of just adding products and going along. And then after like a week, start your Facebook Marketplace store. Give it a day or two, like full focus on that. And then after that, every single day, you should be spending an hour and a half on both is what my recommendation would be based on you saying that you have, well, I thought you said you had 3 hours a day. Whatever it is, I would split it up in half. Half the time spent on eBay, half the time spent on Facebook Marketplace, building them up. That way you can kind of see which one's progressing faster. And hey, if you want to go all in with one of them, if one of them is really taking off for you and you really like that one better, that's totally fine, right? You can go all in with that one, but at least you then know, right? You know that was the better choice for you. That one's working better for you for whatever reason. But hopefully you'll be able to have both of them really take off and do well. I love all this in the chat. Thank you, Kared. All I can do is try. I love this business and try to get the most out of these lives as I can. Thanks. Good luck. Hey, what's up, Bob and Jen? Thanks for coming back. Thanks for always being here and asking great questions. I'm just coming off from being sick, so I lost my voice actually a couple days ago. So we'll see how long I last today, but I'm drinking plenty of water. What's up, George? Yeah, it could take time for those registrations, so don't worry. George is going all in on drop shipping. I love it. That's the way to do it, man. If you really want to be successful with this, the most successful drop shippers I've seen are the ones that go all in with it. There are so many different ways to make money online, and I love talking about them. I love exploring them and trying them myself. But what I found is that the only way you're going to be successful is if you go all in with one of them. And whether that's drop shipping or Amazon FBA, whatever it is, I don't care. I just want to see you succeed and do well. For myself, I know that I can be successful with drop shipping. I know I can teach you guys about drop shipping. And based on my experience, it is the simplest way to get started as a beginner. Like if you want the highest chance of success, I'm not saying success is guaranteed when it comes to making money online and these different models. It's definitely not, right? You have to work hard. You have to, put in the work to do all this. But in my opinion, if you want your highest chance of being successful, it's this type of drop shipping on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. Like it's the simplest, most beginner friendly. But you have to be the one that goes for it. You have to say, okay, I'm going for this. I'm going all in with this. So glad to hear that you're doing that, George. What other platforms to drop ship other than eBay, says Zachariah. So my top pick besides eBay would be Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is really hot right now. A lot of buyers on there, not a ton of sellers yet. It's a really great opportunity for drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace and Facebook Shops. Some other places I have not tried drop shipping are Mercari, OfferUp, different places like that. I've tried drop shipping on Amazon in the past. It does work, but it's really hard for beginners to get going with Amazon drop shipping. Amazon, they're really strict with their metrics. It's a difficult platform to master, but it is possible to drop ship there. And then there's, of course, Shopify. But with Shopify, that's not a marketplace. So like on eBay, there's a ton of sellers. They go onto eBay, they use the search bar and they search for like shoe rack. And they'll see a whole bunch of listings and one of them's yours and they could buy that from you. Now, the cool thing about that is that you don't have to drive traffic to eBay. There's already customers on eBay. Same thing for Facebook and Amazon and these other places. With Shopify, though, you're building your own website. You have to build your own website, and then you have to pay for marketing to get customers to visit that website and then to buy from you. So that part, that component, the marketing, that's very, very difficult to get right. Really hard for beginners. If you're able to do it, it's really good money, but most people aren't really successful with that in a way that I've seen that's really kind of easy to replicate. Do you sell both prime and non-prime on eBay, says Pete's. So when you're drop shipping from Amazon onto eBay or onto Facebook Marketplace, you can ship your items using a non-prime account. If you use an Amazon Prime account, what is going to happen is Amazon is actually going to shut down your Prime account and you'll have to sign up for a regular Amazon account. So they do allow us to drop ship. You just can't use an Amazon Prime account. Now, the trouble with that, of course, is that with Prime, you get free shipping on pretty much every single order and fast shipping as well, usually 1 or 2 day shipping to most of your customers. The thing is, if you're using a non-Prime account, you're still going to get pretty fast shipping. Even if it says it's longer, we've found that it still ships out pretty fast. And in addition to that, as long as you stick to items that are over $25, it's not going to be a problem because you're going to get free shipping on those orders anyway. Let's hear it. Send me the question. PJ's Ecom 2050. What's your view on what? Drop? I feel like there's something missing from there. Okay. Jakub says, I just registered for AutoDS and listed my first items, but I want to list even more, but I can't. I can't increase my selling limits because I don't have any sales. Is there any way to fix that? Selling limits on eBay are a bit of a catch-22 because in order to have your selling limits raised, you have to sell more items. But it seems like you can't sell more items because you have a low selling limit. Luckily, what you want to focus on or what you're able to do is you can use the selling limits that you have to your maximize those limits as much as you can, which means that you want to sell cheaper items because cheaper items sell faster. And you really want to do product research and find items that are really popular and selling well right now. Sell those, and then eBay is going to increase your selling limits. So what this comes down to is really doing a lot of product research. You want to look on eBay or use Zeek Analytics to find those popular items, see what's selling right now. Because again, what's selling right now is what matters. It doesn't matter if it was selling a year ago or 2 years ago. So use that data, see what's selling now, drop ship those same items, and really focus on just getting the sales. It doesn't matter if you're making a profit, just get those sales, and then you're able to raise your limits. And then when your limits are big enough, you can start filling your items with your store with more items, and you can increase the price of them and actually start making some profit. Facebook Marketplace. Hey, what's up, Danny? What's up in Minnesota? Okay. PJ's Ecom 2050 says, "Hi Paul, what's your view on dropshipping digital products? Is it positive? Any insights regarding sourcing?" So to be honest, I don't have any experience dropshipping digital products at all, to be honest. It's not something I've looked into. I would check out the YouTube channel Patrick the Marketer. He's talked about it, but I can't talk about it because I've never actually done it myself. It seems like something that could get very saturated very, very quickly. Robert says, "We registered in the state of Pennsylvania, just a little confused. Do I have to register in each state before we post an item?" No. You could even post an item right now. It's fine. But if you're waiting to get that registration, okay, that's fine. That's good. But just wait until you get Pennsylvania back, and then you're fine. You don't need to register in every single state. Isn't AutoDS just like Oberlo? AutoDS and Oberlo are very different. So Oberlo, they are, and full disclaimer, I've only used Oberlo once. It was a while ago and I didn't really use it that long. But Oberlo is a software that helps you dropship onto Shopify. Like I mentioned before, Shopify is where you build your own website. With AutoDS, you can also use it to dropship on Shopify, but you can use it to dropship on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and I believe even Amazon now. So it's really designed, AutoDS, for the type of dropshipping that we do, which is dropshipping on marketplaces. Marketplaces like eBay, like Amazon, like Facebook Marketplace. And yes, they have Shopify as well. But Oberlo is really focused on just Shopify from what I know. And they get their items, I believe, actually, I'm not even sure where Oberlo gets their items from. It might be AliExpress, where with AutoDS, they are getting their items where you can source your items from a large variety of different suppliers like AliExpress, Amazon, Home Depot, Walmart, Banggood, all these other places. Fabio wants help with an Amazon Stealth buying account. You really don't need that. What I would recommend is sign up for an Amazon account. Just don't use Amazon Prime, and you should be okay. Raptor wants subtitles. I believe subtitles are something that's automated by YouTube. It's not something, well, maybe I can add them, but I think it'd be pretty difficult for me to do that. I think YouTube has something kind of built in to automate that. Jorge says, "Hey Paul, I'm in the Facebook Marketplace course. Have you considered updating the course to include the bonus supplier causes that you generously included with eBay course?" I'm trying to figure out what you mean. The bonus supplier. Bonus supplier courses. Oh, I see. Well, the thing about Facebook Marketplace, I see what you're saying now. So when you join my eBay course, you actually get all these kind of additional mini courses. One of them is not a mini course. It's like a whole nother course about how to dropship using wholesale suppliers. And the other one is a mini course about how to dropship using Banggood, which is a supplier like AliExpress. That's pretty unique and really pretty good for dropshipping. But for Facebook Marketplace, I don't include that information because I don't think that's the best way to dropship on the Facebook Marketplace. In fact, I actually think it's a bad idea to be dropshipping using wholesale suppliers or suppliers from China like AliExpress or Banggood. And the reason for that is because Facebook, you really have to ship your items out quickly. and they don't really give you any wiggle room on that. They don't allow you to change that. So we need to work with suppliers that are shipping out quickly, which are suppliers based here in the United States, retail suppliers. In addition to that, just because Facebook Marketplace is so new, dropshipping using retail suppliers works really well. And I'm going to continue and hang on to that as long as I can, because using retail suppliers is easier than using wholesale suppliers. You're able to automate it a lot more using software like AutoDS, for instance. You're able to get those items to your customers faster. It's easier to hire virtual assistants to have you source those products and add them to your store and fulfill orders. So it's a lot more of a streamlined experience. And that's why I'm sticking with that for as long as it continues to work. And it does continue to work. So I haven't seen the need to change it and to try something like Wholesale or AliExpress or Banggood or something like that. Best wishes for the dog. And it was 2 dogs back there. I don't know what. We have a lot of construction going on outside the house. So I don't know. There's a lot of noise and trucks, and one barks, the other barks, and then they start howling. It gets kind of crazy here. So Rob says, how are returns handled through dropshipping? Where do the return products go? What if they can't be resold? Who takes the hit? Returns for dropshipping are really easy because you actually aren't going to receive the item back to your house in most cases. Instead, you are going to contact your supplier, let's say it's Walmart, ask them to return it. They'll send you a prepaid return label that you can then send to the customer. The customer sends it back to Walmart. Walmart refunds you, you refund the customer, and that's it. You won't end up with inventory that you then have to try to resell or anything like that. Pretty simple return process. So that's the way it works. Even with drop shipping, it's just like with the regular process of drop shipping, it's completely hands off. You never have to handle the packages. You never have to touch them at all. So it's pretty nice. Like this guy said, the supplier takes the hit. Like Amazon, for example, they lose money on returns, I believe. Yeah, Amazon loses money in a lot of places. Returns, even on shipping, some of the products they sell, like Kindles, they lose money. Their whole goal is just to take over, right? They want to be prolific and everywhere, even if they lose money in some areas. Antonius says, what products are highly demanded right now on eBay? Great question. Before I get to that, if you guys are watching this and getting any sort of value out of this, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel, please. We're closing in on 100,000 subscribers. It'd be awesome to hit that pretty soon and for you to be a part of the 100K club. All right, so what products are highly demanded right now? Well, one reason you should subscribe to my channel is because every single month I release a video where I go in depth into what specific products you should be drop shipping or adding to your store right now. And I get that information based, one, off of my experience, having drop shipped now for about 6 years, and two, from using software like Zeek Analytics, which actually is able to tell us what the hot products are right now. And so we're able to go in there, see which ones have been selling in the past month, and I give you kind of my recommendation on what to sell. So we'll have a video released about that pretty soon. I think one actually comes out this Sunday for the month of February. So keep a lookout for that video. And that also teaches you a little bit about product research, but I also have a ton other videos here on YouTube going into how to do product research so you can learn how to do it yourself. Sandy says, is it better to have 2 eBay accounts or 1 eBay account? When you're a beginner on eBay, I would really focus on just 1 eBay store. Don't have 2 of them at once. For the first reason is because eBay, while they allow you to have multiple accounts, they don't really want you having multiple accounts when you're brand new. And there's a chance they might actually shut down one of those accounts. So avoid that from happening. Just use the one account. Also, in the beginning, there's really no reason to have multiple accounts. You should be putting all your focus on the one account, growing that one, learning how to dropship on eBay using that account. And then if you have a reason to add a second account down the line, do so. So for instance, let's say you go all in with one supplier, you're just dropshipping Amazon to eBay, and that does really, really well, but now you want to diversify. So now you want to start doing Walmart to eBay as well. That might be a good reason to start a second eBay store. You can do Walmart to eBay in that store and keep the first store just Amazon to eBay. But in the beginning, I would just focus all your attention on that one eBay store and just focus on growing that one. Print on demand is better than drop shipping, in my opinion. Less stress with inventory. Interesting. All right. So print on demand is, for those of you who don't know, it's like when, so print on demand, you have to make these designs for different clothing like sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. All you're doing is creating the design for them. And then you upload those designs to like Amazon. You can do this directly on Amazon. And then if someone buys that item, Amazon will actually print the design onto the sweatshirt or whatever else they buy, and then ship that item to the customer. So it's kind of cool. It's very similar to drop shipping. I have a friend, Ralph, that does it really well. He does it like on Shopify. But yeah, it's very similar to dropshipping. I don't think it's better at all than dropshipping. With dropshipping, you're still not dealing with any inventory, and you don't have to deal with that issue at all. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. But the trouble with print on demand is that you have to come up with those designs, right? And with the dropshipping we do, we don't have to come up with any products or designs. We just have to find the popular ones and list them up for sale. Someone else is doing all that design work for us. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're creative, artistic, you like to draw and design things, yeah, I mean, you should try it out. It's pretty cool. I don't think it costs any money to like set one of these up on Amazon and to upload your designs. And then if someone buys from you, you get a cut of it. And if not, like, doesn't seem to be much harm in just doing it. But again, you have to like know how to design, and that's something I'm definitely not good at. All right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I posted my first listing on eBay yesterday, and I don't have any views yet. Is there anything you can recommend to help my listings get seen? Says Steven. If you posted your first item on eBay and you haven't gotten any sales on that item, there's a few reasons why that might be. So the first thing you really have to nail down is the product research. In other words, you have to be selling items that are popular right now and that people actually want to purchase. After that, after you find those items, you then have to optimize the titles, fill them with keywords that people are actually going to be searching for when they are looking for that item. And then third, pricing. You have to price your item competitively, especially in the beginning. I would even just put it at a break-even point. That way you make the sale, then you can sell it again, but you can raise the price and then raise the price again. And those are kind of like my 3 tips for getting your first sale quickly when it comes to eBay. Yeah, Shopify is really good on print on demand too, for print on demand. Does Zeek Analytics allow you to purchase automated sales from Walmart? No. So Zeek Analytics, the only thing it does, well, not the only thing, but the primary thing that Zeek Analytics does is it helps you do product research. So this can scan eBay and give you a ton of information on what products are popular right now. You can search for different items, categories of items. You can scan sellers and see what items that seller is selling successfully. That is what it does. That's the meat of it. And because it's concentrating on just that, it does it really well. In fact, some of the new features they have, so they're able to, once it pulls up an item that it's found, now increasingly it's able to say, hey, we actually found this item for you on Walmart. So all you have to do is click through. There's the item on Walmart that someone successfully drop shipping onto eBay. And then you can press another button and that will send it off to AutoDS, which will then list the item for you. So that's what Zeek Analytics does. It also has a title builder built in as well to help you build titles. Like I mentioned before, is really important to do. AutoDS, on the other hand, which I mentioned just a second ago, that is actually used to list the items. So you plug the URL of the Walmart item into AutoDS, or again, you press the button on Zeek Analytics and it will send it over to AutoDS. Either way, once it's in AutoDS, AutoDS will then list it for sale onto eBay for you. And then if you set it up in AutoDS, it will do the automatic orders for you as well. So anything from listing the items to automating the order fulfillment, customer service, all that's done in AutoDS, but Zeek Analytics is used before that to actually find the items to sell. All right, I4 and more says, great info. First of all, man, I love your Mandalorian Lego there. Pretty cool. Off topic, do you still have your Chad and Paul van life channel? So I have a second YouTube channel. It's run by myself and my husband. So the name of it's Chad and Paul. And we use that channel to document our journey as we lived van life for 2 years. We lived in a van full time for 2 years, traveled around the country, documented our journey, vlogged, did tours of other people's vans and rigs. And we had a lot of fun doing that for 2 years, but we did get a bit burnt out. We did need a bit more stability, which is why we bought a house here in Colorado, and we no longer do that. So the channel's still up and running, but we haven't added any content to that in about a year, to be honest. Have you heard of Get More Tracks? Why is it less popular than Track Taco? I have not heard of Get More Tracks. Track Taco is a service that can be used to help you generate tracking numbers. What's it called? Get More Tracks. And so in situations like when you're drop shipping from Amazon and Amazon doesn't give you a usable tracking number, they give one of their Amazon logistics tracking numbers. You can't upload that into eBay. You can't upload that into Facebook Marketplace. So it's not like a great, it's not like a great tracking number to use. So you can convert it into a usable one using something like Track Taco, or AutoDS has their own version of that as well. But I guess Get More Tracks is another one, but I just haven't heard of it. There's a few of them coming out now. I'm taking a look at their website. No, I don't know. I can't say about it. I've used Track Taco and I've used the AutoDS one, and they work just fine. I guess this is another alternative. There's a couple of them kind of popping up. Don't supply from eBay, LOL. I disagree with that. Listings disappear too often. So in other words, this guy's saying don't drop ship from eBay onto like Facebook Marketplace. The fear here is exactly what you said. The listings disappear too often on eBay. So the question is, should you drop ship from eBay onto other marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace? And there's obviously some fear with this, because what if you go to fulfill the order and suddenly it's out of stock on eBay? But what we have found is, particularly dropshipping eBay to Facebook Marketplace, it actually is a really good opportunity because a lot of the items are a lot cheaper on eBay. They're a good sale, and a lot of the items that sell well on eBay or that are available on eBay will also do well in Facebook Marketplace. If you use software, it will actually track the item on eBay and we'll let you know if it goes out of stock or if it's been deleted. So that kind of fear can be alleviated quite a bit. Also, a lot of times, if an item goes out of stock on eBay, there are a lot of times other sellers available on eBay where you can buy the same product from. Maybe not at the same price, but pretty close a lot of times. Sweet. Take care, man. Does your course offer some sort of money back guarantee? Yeah, all my courses always come with a 30-day, no questions asked money back guarantee. At one time, my Amazon course, you had to actually like prove that you actually did the work and it didn't work for you. I didn't like that. I'm not like your babysitter, right? I'm not going to be your parent. If you take the course and you decide it's not for you, it didn't work for you, you're an adult, you can tell me, right, that it doesn't work for you and that no questions asked, right? Just email me, say, I want a refund, paul@pauljlipsky.com. No questions asked, you get one as long as it's within 30 days. Oberlo was sunsetted? Let's take a look. Oberlo. Let's see. This is a really strange website. So I just searched for Oberlo. This is Oberlo.com. Uh-oh, what happened here? Can you guys see that? Can you guys see my screen? Hopefully you can. But it says, fulfill your dropshipping dreams. This seems like a weird website, right? Obviously, it's just like an ad now for Shopify. Huh. I don't know what's going on here. Well, maybe because you have to join Shopify and then add the Oberlo app. But I don't know, something's weird about this website. Oh shoot, I lost my place on the... Oh, I lost my place in the chat. I don't know. Maybe someone with more information could tell me what's up with Oberlo. All right, where did I leave off? So many questions. I love it, guys, but I don't know where I left off. Okay, there we are. Okay. Okay. Black God said, there are sellers that have templates where you can't copy and paste their descriptions and listing titles likely sourcing from, what's your opinion if you're experienced what I mean? Yeah, so what they're talking about is sometimes when you're looking at a seller on eBay, what we like to do is, hey, if we found an item that's popular on eBay, what I'll do is I will copy the description of that item and search for it on Google to find it. So what some sellers have done is they've added a code to their descriptions that makes it so you can't copy the text. So that's kind of annoying for us, and it doesn't really help them because you can often just search for the title and find it. You could search for the images and find it. And there's even some Chrome extensions that I believe that will allow you to copy things that normally aren't copyable. So it doesn't really help. It's just kind of a waste for them to do that. And I think it actually hurts them as well because eBay will actually scan a description and use the information it finds to determine where your item should rank in the search results. So if someone's searching for a bookshelf, they'll look, does the title say bookshelf? Does the description say bookshelf? Is bookshelf in the item specifics? The more places it shows up, the better. But if they're not able to scan the description, well, that's not good for your store and for that listing. Sahil says, is it possible to learn things like dropshipping or other business models from YouTube or for free alone? Or do I have to buy a course or a book of some kind? You could learn a lot from YouTube. Probably all the information you need is on YouTube and you can figure out the rest of it. There are a few problems with it, to be honest, like learning on your own. The first one is just having everything in one place. You know, a lot of content on YouTube is old, it's outdated. after just a few months or a couple of years, or it might not even be correct. You might be getting some information from one YouTuber, another information from another blog, another information from another YouTuber, and you put it all together and it doesn't quite fit together. And that's because we all have our own unique strategies. And like my strategy won't work with the settings that someone else uses for their eBay store, just for example. So it would be possible. It's just going to require like a lot of like kind of like messing around and figuring it out. But the bigger problem, in my opinion, is that there's nothing to hold you accountable. And people don't take action. People don't like pursue things like eBay dropshipping and like really go for it unless they have someone to be accountable to. So when you buy a course, you're putting your money in, right? There's stakes now. You want to make that money back and then more to actually make a profit. And you'll be joining a forum, a group where you can ask questions to people and talk with them. And now you're accountable to those people as well, because they're going to be posting up their results and you're going to have that drive to now post up your own results. And to have that self-motivation to do that without those outside influences is really difficult. That's why a lot of people aren't successful, but then are when they join a course or program or a community like that. All right. I don't use CJ Dropshipping, so I don't know. I don't know too much about them. Ben, what was your question? I don't see a question from you. Weird. The first comment I see from you, Ben, is no affiliation with them at all. Just wanted an expert take on them. Oh, maybe you mean that was the Track Taco alternative. Have you heard the algorithm change on Facebook Marketplace? The algorithms for all these marketplaces are always changing, but they don't ever tell us what the algorithm is. So it's one of those things that you just shouldn't stress out about. I've learned this a long time ago. I used to stress out on eBay thinking like something must have changed with the algorithm or eBay changed this. When things are outside of your control, especially when it comes to business like this, there's zero benefit in worrying about them or stressing out about them. We should just be focused instead on what we can control. And so for me, that's things like adding new products, adding the right products, doing product research, doing all that stuff is the only thing that I can control in my business, and having the right people to do that. Everything else is just unnecessary stress. And I used to worry about it. I did for years, and I'm just tired of worrying about it, so I don't do it anymore. Lost my place again. How can we return a product that is dropshipped from AliExpress? So this is on a seller by seller basis, meaning the seller on AliExpress. So you want to reach out to them and tell them, is this mic too loud? Am I holding it too close? You want to reach out to them and tell them why you want to return the item. It's one of the difficulties with AliExpress. It's why I'm always hesitant to recommend them, because returns are difficult with them. You know, I've never actually shipped an item back because it's just such a pain. But sometimes they'll just refund you. If you're able to prove that the item's been damaged or doesn't work, they can a lot of times just refund you for it if it's one of those situations. And other times that I've done it, I've just eaten the loss. A lot of times the items you buy from AliExpress will be really cheap and you'll have a really nice markup on them when you sell them on eBay or somewhere else. And so then it's like, okay, I lost a few dollars, but that's okay because it's just one product, one sale in this situation. To kind of mitigate that, if the product is damaged but still usable, you can say to the buyer on eBay, hey, instead of returning this and going through this whole hassle, do you want just a partial refund? And they might say, yeah, refund me 50%. And then, that's less of a loss for you. It might even cover the cost. So you might actually lose nothing. Buying in bulk and sending to a fulfillment center. My goal. Awesome goal. Yeah. That's like, I'm assuming you're doing like FBA, Amazon FBA is what you're looking at. I kind of look at e-commerce as there's like stepping stones, right? So in stepping stones in terms of how difficult they can be, but the potential of them. I think a lot of people think of it this way. I don't actually agree with this. So they think of something like drop shipping as kind of like at the bottom. It's very beginner friendly. Most people can get into it without a lot of experience. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need to buy a lot of inventory up front. You don't need a lot of money. It's really good for beginners. Once you build up some capital, you can do something like online arbitrage, where you buy a bunch of items, have them delivered to your home, send them off to Amazon, and then Amazon can fulfill all those orders for you when they actually sell. And then from there, you can build up more capital and level up to something like Wholesale, and sell all those items on Amazon Wholesale. There's other steps in there, like you could say above eBay dropshipping would be like Shopify dropshipping or something like that. So people kind of think of it as this ladder. But what I've seen is that when someone has the right mindset and they bring with them kind of the right drive, you can easily get stuck in a good way on any one of these rungs on the ladder. So I've seen people with this exact attitude saying, I'm going to do eBay dropshipping just for a year, build up capital, and then move up to something like Shopify or Amazon. But they do so well at eBay dropshipping, they're like, why would I change? Why would I stop this when it's working so well? And I've seen the same thing with Facebook and online arbitrage and Wholesale and all these things. If it's working and you're being successful with it, just keep doing it, right? So that's my opinion on it. Okay, I definitely did not see your post before about Peaksta. I don't know what that is. I'm confused on multiple levels here. One, because I don't know what Peaksta is, and I didn't see you mention it. I don't know where your comment went. Let me see what this Peaksta thing is. Peaksta. Peaksta. Okay, so some sort of product research tool. Oh, it's made by the Ecom King. Interesting. It might be for Shopify dropshipping. Yeah, it looks like it's more for Shopify dropshipping because that's what the Ecom King does. Yeah, so I don't know much about it. Do you live in New York? I'm from the UK. I used to live in New York, but not anymore. All right, still have time for a few more questions, but I want to remind you guys, if you got any sort of value out of this, if I answer your question for you, please give this video a thumbs up. There are like 50 of you guys watching, only 18 thumbs up, so I appreciate that. Just take a second to do that. Dark Slayer says, I'm new to dropshipping. I got a message from a seller, I guess on eBay, or sorry, from a buyer on eBay, saying they want to pay me more than I was asking for, but they want me to text all the info to them. That is definitely a scam. It's a scam. Avoid it. Don't do that. Even if it's not a scam, then they will get you in trouble because you're not supposed to solicit sales off of eBay from customers on eBay. So some of the most common scams on eBay are pretty obvious to detect because the buyers or potential buyers will ask you to have a sale off of eBay, or they'll pay you off of eBay, or they're going to offer you more than you've listed the item for. Those are red flags. Too good to be true, probably is. So you should just avoid those people and just ignore them entirely. Okay. Antonius has like a general question about sales tax. He says, I get sales tax deducted from eBay when I sell, and also pay sales tax when I purchase a product from Walmart. Is there a way around this? Yeah, absolutely. That's what sales tax exempt means. So When you're selling on eBay, eBay is going to charge your customers sales tax. They're going to handle all the sales tax for you. But when you go to buy your item from your supplier like Walmart, Walmart is also going to charge you sales tax. That doesn't need to happen because you are not the one who's going to use the item. Only the person who's going to use the item needs to be charged sales tax, which is your customer on eBay. So you need to tell Walmart that. And the way you tell them that is by filing with your state, getting the right documentation, and submitting to Walmart to become sales tax exempt. You do that, and when you buy stuff from Walmart, they'll no longer charge you sales tax because your customers on eBay are being charged sales tax instead. I have videos on stuff like this. How to price an item on Facebook. I have some examples in there. Hook says, I'm 14. I just made $50 flipping an iPhone. I tried drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace, but I couldn't get people to trust me to pay via bank transfer. Can't use PayPal either. So when you're drop shipping on Facebook, you really want to try to get the shipping option, which will allow you to accept payments directly on Facebook, meaning that you don't have to ask someone to do a bank transfer or pay you through PayPal. They can put their credit card information directly into Facebook. That is the most trusted way, the way you're going to get the most sales. So that's what you should try to do. If you're only 14, you should be doing it under a parent's account with their permission. And that way you can actually have that shipping option unlocked. What? Oh yeah, so the link for the Chrome extension, you could just, I don't have it off the top of my head or readily available, but it's in the description of this video. You should be able to click on that or just search for just Google Dropshipping Titans Marketplace Helper and you'll see a link to the Chrome store and you can download it right there. If you're selling on eBay, I use AutoDS, the API version. Appreciate you, Danny. All right, you saw my screen after all. All right. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So that's where we're going to close it, end things for today. Appreciate you all coming out. Thanks, Danny, for the tech support and for getting back to me on that one. Again, if you guys like this video, give it a quick thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to make even more content for you guys to help you figure out which online business is best for you, teach you about drop shipping. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Next week, we should have a live Q&A at the normal time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Do them every single Tuesday for all of you. Make sure to show up early, ask your questions early so that I can actually get to your questions because I never get to all the questions in the chat. Thanks so much for hanging out, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.